Something's living under my teeth. Whenever I chew, it screams. I had to stop eating. When I try to sleep, if my mouth closes and my teeth click together, my ears are pierced with the sound of agonizing horror. Now sleeping is out. I can't afford a trip to the doctor, but I know I can't live like this. The moment I gripped one of my bottom teeth with the pliers, the screaming started. Tears filled my eyes and blurred my vision. With all the strength I could muster, I yanked down and away from me, bending the tooth at a 90-degree angle. It came out with a crunch. The rest of the ones in the front came out easily enough, but the molars were disastrous. Each time I worked to get a grip and squeezed hard enough to pull, they shattered into splinters of enamel, and that made me choke and cough. The screaming persisted. Without many options, I grasped the exposed roots left by the burst molars and pulled. The screaming combined with the sound of 1,000 shrubs being simultaneously pulled from the ground, and white pain exploded through my head. When I succeeded in yanking out the last one, a double-rooted wisdom tooth, the screaming stopped. Everything was silent. With shaking hands, I shone a flashlight into my mouth and stared at the wreckage in the mirror. After a moment, I saw something slide out of one gaping socket. I was filled with a terror and fascination. The creature was black and thin and slick with my blood and saliva. It kept pushing out, coiling itself on my tongue. More and more of its body escaped from the raw hole until my mouth was nearly full. Tilting my head downward, I let it spill out into the sink. It uncoiled like a garden hose under the porcelain. Another 2 or so feet snaked out of my mouth until it was all out of me. Then without any ceremony, it crawled down the drain. With no more screaming to disturb me, I slept like a baby. A couple days went by and then my mouth started to itch. The feeling made me want to drag sandpaper over the holes until there was nothing left but jawbone. I managed to control myself. This morning, however, I awoke to an ecstasy of delight. My mouth was melting with pleasure. Every socket was being scratched exactly where it itched most, over and over. I flew to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. Hundreds of tiny black worms swam in and out of the holes, their bodies manipulating the nerves within to communicate the greatest sense of physical relief I'd ever experienced. In a mindless, hedonistic fog, I closed my mouth and squeezed my jaw to push the top sockets against the bottom ones. When the holes touched, the tiny worms could freely crawl in and out, up and down. As if in thanks, they began to sing.